Hey guys, Radical Reggie back at you with another video. This is going to be my second video for my sad moments in video games. The first video did really well, lots of engaging talking. There will be spoilers for you guys who get triggered by that. So in saying that, you have been warned. But anyways, I want to do another volume of this. Some sad stuff in here, but it's stuff that I wanted to talk about. So let's take a look. Xenosaga 3 was one hell of a roller coaster. I mean, seriously, this game, like, man, when you get the third game really messes with your emotions because you know it's the last game in the series. It was supposed to be 5, but thankfully they consolidated to 3 games. And man, I'm just telling you, everybody has a conclusion in this game, and it is so amazing. A lot of sad moments. I have a couple in particular, but of course, I'm only going to share one with you. I mean, it was a pick between Cosmos' Awakening and between her and Telos and the other character, Shion's brother, Jin. Even though the scene with the Cosmos and Telos was amazing, and I was very sad and happy at the same time about some moments in it, I would have to say the next scene coming up is going to be the one that really got to me. It was between Shion and her brother Jin. They had a rocky relationship throughout the series, but this game really just kind of like forgives all that, and it's just a really sad moment. You know, he really tries to be a big brother to her, and you know, he just tries to do the right thing, and just when you're about to escape with him, you know, he knows he has to go back and help your other friends, and you know, even though he's scared to do it and he doesn't want to leave his sister, he knows in his heart that's what he must do. You know, of course he wants to survive, of course, but he ends up getting into an epic battle, and ultimately, you know, he succumbs to some wounds, fatal wounds. But man, does he put up a hell of a fight. You know, it was amazing seeing him fight the way he did, and honestly, I didn't think he was going to get killed, you know what I mean, but it ends up happening. You know, too many people coming at you at once, hitting you from behind. It's just the way it goes, and it was epic seeing him in his last fight, and you know, ultimately he fell, but you know, he did some good. Just an amazing scene. I'm getting a little watered up, like thinking about it right now, because I remember how I felt. But just an amazing scene for an amazing character.
It's quiet now, is what I sought. And yet, now that the time has finally come, I long for the noise of the past.
Valkyrie Profile has so many sad scenes. I mean, the game is really about life and death. And you find all this out within the first 10 minutes of the game. I mean, the game pulls no punches when it comes to messing with your emotions. And I was subject to that. Now, a lot of people don't know this about me. And this was pretty much from high school. I'm a hopeless romantic. You know, I love love stories. A lot of RPGs, that's the reason I play them, you know, to find out what's going on with the love story in it. So with Valkyrie Profile, the thing is, there's 2 kids, Platina and Lucian. They both come from a poor village, and they're trying to escape that. They're both being abused by their parents. Platina abused, possibly being sold, and Lucian losing his younger sister, and she was sold. So they decide to escape together. But here's where the problem is. You know, I understand trying to escape a bad situation, but these kids have no idea where they're going. And they end up going to a forbidden land called the Weeping Lilies. Now, the problem with this place is that if you exhale the pollen, you will die from it. Platina decides that she just wants to let go, and she doesn't want to live anymore because she feels worthless because her parents have never showed her any kind of love throughout her life. Lucian does everything he can to try to convince her to stay with him, but ultimately she just lets go. So I wanted to show you my sad moment, but it's going to be 2 versions of it. First is going to be the PSP version, and then it's going to be the original version on the PlayStation.
favor? Would you take off your helmet? I knew it. You look just like her.
That girl.
Yes, that girl, Platina. She inhaled the weeping lily pollen. It was my fault that she died. If I hadn't convinced her to run away with me, she would still be alive.
And you think that I resemble this girl?
I know! I know it's wrong to feel this way about a stranger, just because she looks like someone else. But that doesn't change the fact that I love her. Take it off? I knew it. You look exactly like her.
Like that girl?
Yes. That girl, Platina, she inhaled the weeping lily pollen and died. It was my fault if I hadn't brought her with me.
And I resemble this girl.
And that's why I know it's wrong to feel this way about a stranger just because she looks like someone else. But nothing has changed. I still love her.
What really moved me about that scene was the connection that they still had. Even after she had been reborn, there was still a connection between them, and it was really strong. Also in that scene together, they are departing each other again, so it just really makes it touching and sad. It's like the second time they had to lose each other after finding each other again, even though she doesn't remember him right away, but something about her still remembers him. The next scene, you already know this was coming. Aerith, or Eris, or whatever you want to call her, her death was a shock to me, seriously. When this event happened, I thought that she was just going to be hurt really bad, like out of your party for a while or whatever, you get her back later. But man, dude, if you see how the scene plays out, man, when you get to the last cinematic, man, you know for sure that she's not coming back. And it's a sad thing, too. The game kind of builds your relationship with Aerith up during the game, with certain situations, like there's the play situation at the Golden Saucer, the ride during that time. All this stuff is really nice, and it kind of just really you look forward to them like coming together possibly at the end of the game, and the game kind of just swoops in and towards the end of the first disc and takes that away from you. When you see her materia like fall slowly, and I mean slowly, into the water below, and that music hits, man, you're like, oh man, it really hits you, and it's just a sad moment. And I remember how I felt as a teen seeing this, dude. I was like, dude, no way they're gonna take her away from us. And I was one of those guys that had Aerith in my party the whole time, and the game just kind of swoops in and just takes her away. I think what really upset me is the way Final Fantasy VII ended the original game. I didn't think it really did the characters justice, and a 500 years later type scenario. You guys know what I'm talking about. But anyways, Sad to see Aerith go. Another sad moment for me. Still sad to this day, and probably sad for you guys that are watching this. Oh gosh. So for those of you that have played the Klonoa games, the first Klonoa game is considered to have one of the saddest video game endings of all time. But I always debated against that, honestly. And I thought that Klonoa 2 had one of the saddest endings, at least in that series. And I'll explain why. The second game actually takes place in an undisclosed amount of time after the first one. I don't know, but we definitely know that Klonoa has gotten older. He goes on a second adventure, saves the day, usual stuff. But the thing about this ending is that Klonoa actually accepts that he's a dream traveler, which is something he couldn't do in the first game. And I thought that moment was a sad moment because, when you hear Klonoa talk and the other characters in the game, they're pretty much children. But during the event at the end of the game, Lolo, his friend, is trying to be strong about saying goodbye to him, but she can't hold it in, and she starts to cry. And it's just, she hugs Klonoa. It's just a really sad moment. To be honest, looking back at this scene, what makes it even sadder is that this game has never gotten a proper sequel. It's gotten spin-offs that are great, which I'll probably talk about in another video, but you look forward to seeing where Klonoa ends up next, and that doesn't happen. But still, going back to this ending, very sad moment between the two. I mean, because from what I've seen in the Klonoa games, when Klonoa leaves a world, he doesn't come back. He's gone on to the next world. So he's pretty much saying goodbye forever, which is just really sad in itself. But anyways, I could be wrong to some of you guys. Maybe you guys still feel that Klonoa, the first game, had a much more sadder ending. I felt like this one was just like hit home for me. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. I just thought this was a strong moment in the game. And it's another sad thing. I know I always say sad things, but it's like this game didn't really sell well. So a lot of people still don't even to this day don't even know about the Klonoa series, which is even sadder. So that's a couple sad moments for Klonoa. Brave Story, The New Traveler. Wow, I had such a good time playing this game back in the day. One of the first RPGs I beat on the PSP system. So not a lot of people know about this game. A total hidden gem. Hopefully, if you have a PSP, you'll definitely get this game. But the sad moment in this game is pretty much towards the end of the game. And it came really unexpected to me, which was funny. One of your characters, she's the first character you meet in the game, and she's pretty cool. Good character to have in your party. She seems to like your character a lot, but you don't know whether it's like a girlfriend type way or maybe a big sister type way until the end of the game. But during one of the last battles, you find your way home and you're saying goodbye to everybody pretty much. All the friends you met on your journey, it's come to an end. And really what's crazy is that you find out that once you leave, you could never come back. So you'll never see them again. So it's like, man, what the heck? And it comes unexpected because you think you go to the main map, visit characters again or whatever, but it's time to go. So anyways, towards the end, like I said, you say goodbye to everybody, take one last look, but that's not the sad moment, man. The sad moment, and it really was a shocker to me, is that she breaks down and starts crying, and it's like the way the whole scene transitions. I'm just gonna let you guys see it right now. It's pretty insane. It made me cry a little bit, just a little bit, and it definitely had a lasting impact on me after playing this game. All right, so next game is The Last of Us. I really enjoyed this game. A lot of fun, but oh gosh, does it have some moments in it. And one of the most powerful moments, and probably one of the most saddest moments in video game history, is the beginning of the game. When Joel and his daughter are trying to escape the city from the outbreak, because there's an outbreak that's happening and it's turning people into these crazed lunatics that are attacking everybody. He almost makes it out of the quarantine zone, but they run into a soldier, and the soldier decides that he has to take them out because they're perceived a threat. And the sad part is Joel's trying to protect his daughter till the end, but even though he does that, she's the one that ends up taking the damage. I mean, she gets shot. And it's a horrible moment because, you know, they don't show it right away, but when you finally look over at the characters looking over at her, you know that something's wrong, and it's just it's gut wrenching. I mean, seriously, if you could watch this scene without dropping a tear, I mean, you got no soul. Simple as that. You see this father doing everything he can to save his daughter. It's just sad because there's nothing he could do. They're in a dire situation. There's no help, and he ends up losing her. And, you know, this pretty much shapes up Joel's character for the rest of the game. The game has a time jump, and just by looking at Joel, when you see the time jump happen when you start playing as him again, you can see the damage on him. It's just how it's taking its toll on him, and it's just sad. It's just really sad scene. I'll never forget it. But all right, guys, we are about to move on to the last one of this sad video. And wow, this next one might be a surprise to all of you. Metal Gear Solid 4, my favorite Metal Gear game of the series. And I just thought this game has so many phenomenal moments, lots of sad moments, especially coming towards the end of the game, of course. But I thought one of the saddest moments was the meeting of Big Boss and Snake. I thought that was a total surprise. And such an awesome scene between father and son, even though it's kind of weird at first because they don't know whether they should hug it out or kill each other. But I mean, this scene was it was sad to me, but it was like a happy type of sad, you know. Metal Gear Solid really is a game that really just really moved me, and it went out like it should have. It had a closed ending. It was just a fantastic game. There's lots of moments in this game, but this moment was just sad for me because it was just sad seeing this game come to an end. I mean, seriously, saying goodbye to Solid Snake after all this time, you know, it's just like, wow, I can't believe it's happening. And Hideo Kojima really like made it fulfilling and awesome. So anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this sad moments. I don't know if I want to do any more videos like this, but anyways, check me out later, guys. See ya.